What is a general superintendent in construction? This video is important because you have to know this information if you want to be successful in this position or if you want to hire for this position. So what are the 6 major components of the role of a GS? What are the 5 things that make it work? And what are the 4 things that you absolutely cannot do? We're going to share that right now. So let's first talk about what a general superintendent is. So a general superintendent for some companies where there are smaller and more complex, smaller projects that are sometimes spread out, a general superintendent will oversee multiple project superintendents and sometimes project managers on multiple projects. Sometimes this means that they don't see the projects often enough and there may be a lot of traveling. Okay, let's go into a different frame. That's one of the most common scenarios for a GS that I see when I'm traveling. Let's go to a different frame. Let's say the general superintendent has multiple projects, but they're geographically located with some proximity, meaning there's not a lot of travel, but they are separate projects. This is typically what you will see in companies with 50 million plus in revenue, all the way up to, multi-billions of dollars a year in revenue. I've also seen, and I like this one the best, where a general superintendent, he or she, will oversee larger projects, and these larger projects, whether they're 350 million or $1 billion or multi-billion-dollar projects, will oversee different superintendents for their functional areas. So let's just go back through those. You can have a GS that oversees multiple small projects, a GS where there's small and big projects, greater proximity, but they're still different projects, superintendents and project managers. And then the third one, my favorite, where the general superintendent is in charge of one project, just multiple areas with their own supers and their own PMs. I like that the best. Now, this position works best if the individual is a master builder, number 1. What I mean by master builder is that there's experience there. He or she has run really complex projects, has scheduling training, has lean training, knows how to oversee the office side and the project management systems of the project, has experience with the craft, knows the trades, understands cranes and shoring and rigging and scaffolding systems, complex construction systems. This individual is a master builder. To be a great general superintendent, this has to be the case, not just someone who you are desperately trying to promote into that position. So ask yourself, does this individual know how to build? Have they built? Do they know how to schedule? Do they know building systems, right? And do they understand project management? If the answer to any of those is no, then we have a problem. We need to deliver that individual more training. Number 2, and there is no flexibility on this. This is a fact. A general superintendent cannot be the master builder that is a jerk, that doesn't know how to deal with people. It's not going to work. A master builder in a general superintendent role must also know how to build the team and have direct experience with bringing people together, developing a loyal team that wants to follow him or her because they just love working with that individual so much, and that individual has to have experience in resolving conflict. Really well versed at dealing with people. Number 3, this individual must have experience. So I would say that experience with processes is really important, but also has to have experience with the processes and that building type and with that type of construction. 4, that general superintendent had better have really great representative experience for finishing great projects in the past, meaning his or her career cannot be a string of dumpster fires and then we expect a really great project. That general superintendent must have experience running and delivering great projects. 5, that general superintendent better be a mentor and a teacher and at least have his or her method of doing so. Because if it doesn't happen, they're going to tell, not pass on that builder knowledge to the next generation. And then when this individual retires, you're going to be in trouble. So this general superintendent must either have or be put through development to learn how to be a teacher and a mentor. And number 6, this individual must be able to oversee the project managers. And so if you have those components, you have the makings of a great general superintendent. And so let me go ahead and get into why this position works when it works. Number one, the general superintendent position works when that GS holds people accountable, not through punishment, but through respect and consequences and sheer determination, will, and wisdom and influence. Influence is the biggest one, but that general superintendent must hold teams accountable. And I will talk later about why that's such a key component. Number two, the position of a general superintendent really works well when the project level finances, financial projections, and costing information can be summarized at his or her level, and the schedule can also be at the project level but be summarized at the general superintendent level. So if the general superintendent is monitoring costs and schedule at a summary level and really able to track the progress of the project and dig in when necessary, that is when the position works well, because that is when it is being monitored, when you have a second set of eyes, and when that position knows to visit the project and dig deep if it has issues. Number three, the general superintendent position really works well when he or she is responsible for the numbers. If you have the project director or the project executive and the PMs, of course, in charge of the numbers, and the GS doesn't really check in, doesn't know, isn't aware, isn't in those meetings, this is a problem, because now a key position is disconnected from the results of the project. Number four, and this is why I like that scenario 3 the most, a general superintendent must be able to focus and be in it, meaning in the project, and not be so disconnected that he or she is ineffective. And number 5, this ties in, a general superintendent works well, meaning the position, when it isn't used as an administrative position, meaning when GSs are used too much, meaning 100% of their time for proposals, for business meetings, for strategic efforts, it does not work. And I want it to work. So let me give you a couple of warnings. But real quick, before I do that, before I go into the cautionary tale, I want to tell you about a beautiful story of you and me connecting and you subscribing to this channel and getting the content for anything you need. And you can always ask us a question. We have a feedback loop here, a relationship, if you are part of this channel, and we can grow together. So please subscribe at the button below. So let me tell you when it doesn't work, okay? So when the general superintendent position doesn't work, and actually let me just go ahead and talk for just a minute. The general superintendent position is actually starting to not work because this position is turning into a I'm distracted, too many places, just visit projects, basically doing administrative work, playing savior with people, protecting folks from actual numbers and the consequences of not making those numbers type position. Meaning that this position done wrong can actually neutralize your project, can actually neutralize your results and cause you trouble. That's why a lot of companies are removing that position and looping all superintendents underneath the project director or the project executive. I don't want to see that. So here are some things that you should watch out for in your company. When the position of general superintendent doesn't work is when they are not accountable for the project results and the numbers. So if you have a project director and a project executive and a general superintendent, they together must be responsible for the financials, for the schedule, and all other metrics, which again, I do want to say are happy people meeting their career goals with raving fan clients, where everyone on the project is taken care of, where the trades are actually succeeding, where you have really great quality, where you're on time and you're on budget, right? These are the metrics that a general superintendent with the project director or executive must be accountable. And so the general superintendent position does not work if he or she is not accountable. And here's what happens when this doesn't work. When the general superintendent is not connected to the numbers, to the results, then what happens is all he or she ends up doing is visiting in with the team, providing a barrier, become a listening ear for the project team, doesn't hold people accountable, and ends up playing savior. Playing savior means that you're shielding people from the natural consequences or the natural teaming that needs to come about when we're not making our numbers, right? And when you're not coaching and actually implementing proper business practices. And so if your GSs or if you are playing savior with your people instead of actually connecting them to the project results, that is when the position will not work. Number 2, when the general superintendent does not have meaningful time to train and coach and dig into the project, that's a problem. I remember getting visits from general superintendents in the past. They would come walk, pat you on the shoulder, hey, good job, and leave. And it's like, wait, what was that? Like, that didn't happen. That didn't help, right? The visit from a general superintendent should be digging into 3 major things while he or she is there. Looking at the numbers, checking the financial projections, looking at the schedule, managing risks and buffers, and like digging in and actually getting some help and feedback for how the project is running. And so if the general superintendent isn't digging in well enough to leave with at least 5 major points of feedback, that position is not working, and it's something that you should look out for. Number 3, when the GS is too distracted, and that's actually a reflection or a root cause, actually it's both, of issue number 2. If the general superintendent is always doing proposals, always building proposal schedules, always in business meetings, always supporting the leadership team, and never on projects, we have literally neutralized that position. And so as companies start to have this scenario on projects where you have supers and then you have a lead superintendent on the project, still on the project, and we're like, hey, he or she is amazing, let's go ahead and promote that person into a GS position out of the projects, you've just neutralized some of your best builders. I would rather have them involved, whether it's multiple projects or preferably projects, but maybe larger projects, so that you still have that builder wisdom. Once you've built a team, once you've built that experience, once you really have that position on lock and you're like, hey, I got it now, it doesn't make sense to then neutralize it and move those positions out of the operations and out of the projects. Keep them there, but pay them so darn well and honor them so darn well and worship that position to where they feel like they're the most important people in the business. And number 4, playing savior with issues and with people. I already mentioned playing savior, but I'm talking about it a little bit differently. When your GS is simply a therapist, a full-time therapist, and just getting the complaints from everybody throughout the organization and just being a listening ear and actually encouraging dissent, then you are now playing savior and encouraging negative things instead of problems to be solved. So if the general superintendent is in the way of taking issues to the people who can actually solve them and encouraging that feedback loop and actually solving problems, then that position is a detriment to your organization. You cannot play savior with people. You cannot play savior with issues. You have to actually put people in natural business situations where they can solve problems as a team. So those are the 4 things to watch out for. All right, so let me just say that this position can be remarkable. I was able to visit, learn from, and work for some of the greatest builder general superintendents of all time. I want this position to keep going. I want people to love it. I want this position to really enable the industry. So let's do it right, and let's watch out for that false position of playing savior and protecting people. Let's protect people and the organization and be responsible for the numbers and actually have builders where they belong, building projects, and let's honor them for the amazing things that they do. And so I'm going to link you to a scorecard in the description below. Please check it out because this position done well will change everything. I hope you've enjoyed this video. On we go.